"30 years is a long time. Hell, some of you weren't even born then. But yes, it was nearly 30 years ago when Cannon Dancer, perhaps better known as Osman, was released into arcades. Now with the help of 𝐸𝐸 Games and 2 of the original developers, this bizarre, intriguing 1996 relic returns to us with save states, cheats, filters, and more. So Cannon Dancer, or Osman, was the spiritual successor to Strider, to the point where internally the game's creators would refer to it as Strider 2. You play as Kirin and use an assortment of martial arts and special magical powers to take down foes, all while hanging from and climbing ledges at certain times throughout these 2D scrolling levels. You have 6 levels in total, and honestly, this is a game that could have easily been lost to time, so as someone who's all about game preservation, I think it's really great to see a re-release like this all these years later. If you've ever played Strider, you should feel pretty comfortable here, and fear not, you can pump in as many credits as you wish, though the game also offers a more challenging mode, which is the only way to unlock trophies. It's a nice little piece of incentive to go through and challenge yourself. You can actually play both versions of the game as well, Osman and Cannon Dancer, with the English translation definitely being worth a laugh. It's an arcade game at the end of the day, so you kinda know what to expect here. Punch and kick your way through really weird enemies, screen-filling specials that do massive damage to enemies and bosses, and of course, you'll need those basic platforming skills in hopes of surviving. I died so many times in this game, that would have cost me a lot of friggin' money. Especially stage 6, my god, how did anyone possibly do this? Did they? I'm sure someone exists. There's always crazy gamers out there that do insane things I don't think are imaginable. But anyways, there are of course power-ups as well, which change the color of your pants. A nice little touch. I wish I had power-ups that change the colors of my pants. It's all just a lot of goofy, fun arcade action. Some of the cheats new to this version include a double jump, the option to disable the timer, and invincibility, so you'll have numerous ways to dick around and break this game wide open. You can of course rewind, but again, not in the challenge mode, which, good luck with that. As a fan of 90s arcade games, I absolutely loved the visuals of this title as well. There's plenty of screen-filling explosions, it's colorful, and a real joy to watch in motion. Even the animations are pretty good to this day. You do have a few filters to try out, and the crunchy sound of the arcade original feels left intact as far as my old ears can tell. I really didn't spend any time in the arcade with this game that I recall off of memory. Heck, did any of you ever actually encounter this in an arcade? I'd love to hear about it. Cannon Dancer is a really cool piece of gaming history, and fans of retro arcade games should consider adding it to their collections. It is weird, I mean, really weird. Look at these enemies and bosses, but that's kind of what makes it stand out a bit. It's a neat relic of the past, and I had a lot of fun checking it out.